Welcome back to the Dospods. I don't even think I'll call them a mini anymore because they're starting to tick well over the hour mark. So this is just the off-week pod. It's your host, C to the A to the D to the E to the N, MACDONALD. And I've got the co-host, the producer, the man who just holds the fort down, Daniel Allen, who, if people could currently see the get-up, so I've got the typical Cados and Co podcast setup. I've got the blue cord with the mic, the blue foam piece at the top, and it's handheld. And you've pulled a desk out of your cupboard, connected a Rode arm, and you've got like the Joe Rogan setup, and you've got headphones on, and you look like a proper podcaster next to me.
Yeah, I feel way better right now. Like, I feel comfortable. The mic's just floating in front of me. I'm posted up here, just leaned in the corner. Yeah, this is good. I'm in flow state at the moment. I'm going to be firing from the hip today. This is going to be our best podcast yet.
I've taken a photo of you there. I might upload that to Patreon.
That's fine.
And
that's why you subscribe. You get photos of me in my living room.
It'll be our first bonus content on Patreon. Realistically, I should probably just DM Northy and send it to him because he's the only person on Patreon. But yeah, that might be our first piece of bonus content.
Oh God, I have a tendency of looking like a mongoloid in photos as well, so that's exciting. I think that was your words, not mine, actually. Updates. I don't know if this needs to be on the pod. I've got 3 TVs in my living room now, so things are changing around here. We might have 4 soon. So
yeah, you've got this really bizarre sort of hobby at the moment where you're collecting just old school tallies.
Yeah, let's leave it at that.
Box tallies.
Yeah, girlfriends.
It looks like the TV's off The Simpsons, off the opening credits, that TV that...
I've actually got one in my bedroom that I was watching The Simpsons on a couple of nights ago. So, yeah, let's just leave it at that because I actually... now that we've said it on a public forum, I'm actually quite embarrassed about my addiction.
Yeah.
Dossie, talk to me. Where are we going?
Oh, just far and wide. No, good question. Big couple of weeks. You had a big prediction. I don't think we've spoken since opening round. I think opening round was about to happen. And
is that when we made all the promises about can't have been?
Yeah, and you said the Saints will lose against the Pies and it'll be hilarious. And that was, the sort of vibe we had, and that happened.
Didn't everyone jump on board with that opinion? No one heard it, but...
Yeah.
All of a sudden, they lose, and everyone thought it was hilarious. And then they lost again, and everyone's like, oh, this is really funny. And I was like, see?
Yeah, I couldn't believe we knocked them off.
Yeah. Oh, but you guys were firing.
What was hilarious was the summer that the Saints had was they brought in like $4 million worth of new talent, and we almost sold $4 million worth of talent. So just on that maths, it's like, oh, well, the Saints are better placed. And then we did a number on them. I could not believe it. That was one of the funnest days of football that I've been to for a while. Free hit season, young kids, taking on this highly touted side, and we did a number on them.
I loved it. It's the most I've loved football in probably 8 years.
It was just a fun brand, like Latrell running around.
I'm a Melbourne boy this year. Like, I'm following Melbourne, and that's it. I go for Melbourne. So I thought it was awesome. I was messaging you. Like, I was jumping around in this living room. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was just so fresh and exciting. People are going to probably think that, we haven't seen round 2 results because we're talking so glowingly about round 1. We got pounded by Freo.
I got 1 tip right last week. So I don't want to talk about round 2 results because...
1 tip in round 2. Fuck.
Well, I was sitting 6th of 22, and I thought... Early on, I'm going to take some risks here. Try to get ahead of the competition.
Yeah.
I'm sitting 21st now.
Fuck.
Yeah.
You won't recover from that.
Nah. But mentally and just score-wise. So I'd prefer if we just didn't talk about football this round.
Well, I don't blame you because I'll touch on a couple more, but your mob.
Oh, God.
The Bombers.
Oh.
It's fucking dire, man.
So I've got one... I was big, get Brad Scott out. But now I'm kind of like, well, I think the club needs stability. Well, let's go on the Brad Scott out term first, because that's what everyone's falling back on at the moment. His brand of footy isn't great, but like the club's in such a dire position that I think you can't just kick the coach out because these young players need some form of stability. And also, when you've been bad since Kevin Sheedy,
Yeah.
like, can you keep on blaming the coach? Like, there's obviously a bigger issue here than the coach. Like,
Yeah.
imagine being Brad Scott. Imagine being a bloke. Let's use any job as an example. And you come in, and it's a shit show. It's a complete shit show. Like, you're like, hey, can you run this theme park? We don't have any rides.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. Well, maybe we'll start with the merry-go-round. And it's been 3 years, and you've got a merry-go-round, and you've got the Dodgem carts, but tickets are still $40, and the kids are complaining that there's no rides. That's what Brad Scott's got.
Yeah.
He's been asked to run a theme park without any rides. So, yes, is the theme park shit? Oh, yes, it is. Yes, did someone fall off the roller coaster because it wasn't maintained properly? Yes, they did. But you can't blame the man, can you?
Yeah, no, you're right. And, like, I know they've had a couple of mediocre years, and I've heard that that's a tactic by footy clubs. Some footy clubs, like, recruit for the short term because finishing 9th or 10th for your bottom line is better than finishing 15th. And, you know, I've heard that there are actually teams who recruit to just be in the conversation of finals for most of the year because it's better for your business, and they don't actually set teams up for premierships. And that was spoken about with the Bombers for a while, like bringing in Mackay, Jade Gresham.
He's in the VFL.
Willem Dersma.
Willem Dersma would be handy.
Not Willem. One of the Dersmas, Zave. there was a few players you brought in, and everyone was looking, going, well, like Jake Kelly, like they're players that sort of help you finish 10th, but they're not players that win a premiership. So it almost needs to be stripped right back. Like it's...
But you bring those players in, you get rid of Paddy Voss and D'Ambrosio. So, like...
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Fuck. It's just... It's so dire. Like, it's just... But in saying this, I reckon they were having conversations like this a couple of years ago about the Bombers, and I was like, great, we got them in a couple of weeks at Gather Round. And I feel like we lose to you guys every time we play you at Gather Round, and we got you at Gather Round this year. So I can't believe how dire it looks, but in a couple of weeks when you beat us at Adelaide Oval, I wouldn't be surprised.
Nah, like, we got North Melbourne this week. That's the yardstick. If we lose then...
what if it's like 40 points?
Well, that's not the... Like, North Melbourne, if we lose by a lot, it would suck. But even if we don't lose by a lot, really hurts because the following week... We've got the Bulldogs, and they like.
Oh, they are going. That
they
could
love
be
shit mixing us.
Well, they shit mix any team that's just in the bottom six. They love bullying shit sides,
and they've rage baited me so many times in my life. So the next 2 weeks, like by the time Gather Round comes around, like we could be a shell of a football club. Imagine we lose to North, and then like the Doggies beat us by 90 points.
Yeah,
and
I can't believe you lost Redmond. He was in my super coach.
Can we actually? I actually don't want to talk Essendon football because, like, it's. I'm not actually. I think this year is going to be the.
It's just so helpless and hopeless.
Yeah, I'm not going to get annoyed at them. I'm not going to get upset at Brad Scott. Like, it's just really dire. Our best player doesn't want to be there. He was our captain.
Do you reckon it's one where, like, looking in the first couple of weeks, because this is what we did. We kept track. We kept Clary halfway through the year. Petrarca's body language was really, really poor, and he was performing well, but it felt very individual. And I think he just went into self-preservation mode, which I think, is very human, and I can sort of understand to a certain extent. But once we got rid of Petrarca, like the pressure was off, and it was a win for both parties. Like Petrarca, before he ripped his hammy, career best form, loving his life up there.
That is horrible.
Yeah. No, it's like, it's shit. Hopefully he's back soon, the big Petrarca man. But looking now, does it have a similar feel to that, where like you're sort of looking at Merritt going, fuck, it's like, does he look invested?
What would you say would be the right decision for Essendon?
Man, he made such a song and dance about leaving, and like, I think Merritt, to be honest, is a bit me. Like the stuff that I see from him. It's so hard, but the way he like went about it, The only thing is the compensation wasn't right because Hawks were trying to play the game a little bit.
Yep.
So if the Hawks just went, we'll come to the party here. Here's full compensation. I think you would have taken it. But I'm not sure. It's weird that he's not the captain, but I understand why he wouldn't be the captain. But he's running around as the best player, and Andy McGrath's taking the speeches. I don't know. It's such a weird setup. I think it's probably best to move him on.
Yeah, the right decision probably is to move him on, so we'll sign him on for 6 years. And he'll stay.
Oh, yeah, the extension. What the fuck are we doing there?
This could, yeah. Let's just move on. I'm not a footy analyst. I'm an Essendon nuffy, and I don't think there's anything positive that can come from this conversation. And if you're an Essendon fan listening to this podcast, and you've been sucked into hearing, you've finished your day at work, your girlfriend's angry at you, and you're like, I'm going to listen to Caden because he's my favourite person, and you just get hit with an Essendon conversation, that's your day done. It upset. I was doing the Sash podcast. I do the buttons on that for now, and usually it's the most fun ever. I have the most fun. They're really good. Rob and the guys there are amazing.
They do such a good job.
And I hated yesterday's episode, because it was just it's the second game,
Just
and
picking up the pieces again,
and it felt flat. They were funny. They brought the same energy as usual, but I actually didn't enjoy listening to it.
Yeah,
and it was the first time in the year of producing that show where I've gone, I don't even want to be here. This hurts to listen to. So
it's hard with those fans.
We're about 10 minutes into this podcast, and we're still talking about Essendon.
Yeah, well, it's hard with those fan channels that it can be a pretty grueling gig. Unless you're a Collingwood fan channel or a Hawthorn fan channel, you're slugging it out.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine.
Geelong would be good.
That would be great. Let's start one.
Yeah. Should we make fan channels for teams that are just good? And that's why I feel for Rob and the boys at the Sash, because what do you talk about in 5 weeks' time when it just happens every week?
Yep.
Brad Scott out. Maybe that happens. That's a bit of news, but you can only satiate these fans for so long. And I'm a 25-year member, and I got hit with my membership fee on Monday. We get pumped by, because I'm on a monthly, so I can jump ship if I ever want to, which I haven't for 25 years. But we lose support. Monday morning, they just sting you $57. What? Can't we wait till Wednesday? What are we doing? I don't know.
On the siren,
I'm taking it. I'm the co-host here, but you've pulled me into this. When we lost to Richmond last year in that ugliest game ever, I once again didn't have money on my card, and they called me and said, your payment failed. This was 12 hours since the worst game of football I've ever seen. Hey, this is Essendon Football Club. You owe us money. I'm like, mate, you've got to have the worst job in the world this morning.
Yeah, good luck.
Wait till Wednesday. Give it a few days. I was driving on the way to the Sash funeral pod. The club was being buried, and they're asking for my money. It's all from a sales to a management perspective. That club has just got it all wrong.
From the pen to the king to the king.
I'll put the mic down. You take over.
It looks helpless and hopeless. But as Ross Lyon says, you're never going as bad as what you think you are. You're never going as well as what you think you are. That's what they say in footy. So, I don't know. Hopefully the Bombers... Oh, jeez, I don't know. Fuck, it's this week. It's this week now or never. If you lose by 10 goals to North, I think North have the sneaky ability to do that to teams as well. Then it is fucked. But anyway, we'll move on. We had Cheets on the poddy last week. That was a catch and release pod. We want to be a week ahead of our podcasts. And right now we're sort of recording Tuesdays, uploading Tuesdays, which probably isn't a long-term sort of plan.
I like it though. It's fresh.
I like it as well. I really like it because I don't like when things age in podcasts. There's nothing worse than me and Cheats talking about, practice matches and it comes out now. It feels off.
I was potting St Kilda and it came out after they lost.
Yeah. So I do like the Tuesday, but there's just no room for error. If we organise a Tuesday pod, someone pulls out, then we're fucked. So, good app. I from a podcast standpoint, I think it's really cool to dissect the guest and talk about what we talked about. But from a meta, self-aware like it is pretty weird to talk about the pod. We're doing a podcast talking about the last podcast. I find that a little bit weird. But we're going to do that. Man, he has one of the most creative brains, and what a creative way to do footy content. I assume, like, a lot of people who create content in Australia are influenced by international creators and whatnot. I haven't really seen other people really delve deep into pop culture memes and references as much as Cheets has. It's sort of a one-of-one account globally, I think. Potentially he has been influenced from other creators, but I haven't seen it. So, like, it's, just to have that brain, the ability to see a moment in footy, pull a Simpsons reference out, pull a Office Seinfeld reference out. It's so cool. It's such a cool way to go about it. And, like, he has, like, a genius sort of painter, artist brain. And it was just great to pick his mind about how he goes about things.
Yeah, I think Cheats is also a testament to hard work gets you where you want to be. Because I think the one thing working, like, we're just seeing how he operates, and I've crossed paths with him a fair few times over the last few months. He's just a bit of a workhorse, and he's got a system in place, and he's mastered his system, and he's getting the fruits of his labour now with the reactions he's getting to his content.
Well, with that, in terms of working hard, I've seen around the industry when people have, like, year one and they sort of have a crack at things and they sort of get a little following and, a little bit of momentum, and then year two where it explodes, and then year three where they're on the treadmill trying to keep it. And there's almost this 3-year window of work ethic, which is just crazy to see. So, like, when the Prime train started back in the day, started on TikTok, there was a 3-year window where I went, holy shit, like this is a man on the grind. And that was almost after I'd come off the grind. So I felt like I had that between 2017 and 2020, maybe, like that 3-year, like, this is new, this is fresh. I think I can see a career if I just really fucking knuckle down. So I'd sort of come off that, like, almost blur of a couple of years where it's head down, ass up, and you were just grinding. And then after you have that that fuel source, it has to change. You have to make it sustainable, because no one can do that for 10 years. So that's when, you get into a different challenge with your business where you start delegating the work or you start inventing systems, because no one can white knuckle a career, essentially. But I find it so interesting where you see people in that window, because it's an amazing energy to be around. So in 2021, 2022, I saw Prime Train and the 9 to 5 boys. It was like they had rocket ships strapped to them. The way that they were, like, peppering short form out, like 2 or 3 clips a day, they were addicted to it. Like you become addicted to it for that 3-year patch. And then I obviously saw the Sheps go through that. And then Marmalade, I reckon, between 2022 and like now, just that obsession, that addiction, like, this is new, this is fresh, we're driving it, we can make a career out of it. And now I reckon, obviously Dan does footy, probably had it, the last couple of years as well. You can see that Cheats is in that window, I think. I think this is like year 2. I know he's been doing it for 5 or 6 years or whatever, but this is like year 2 of his, like, rocket ship years. And yeah, you're just seeing, like, the work ethic's crazy.
Yeah, he's awesome to watch.
Like, the dedication, like, you get into this zone of, like, dedication.
Yeah, and I think then obviously the first point you made as well, where he just has his thing. It's his thing, the way he goes about it. You would have heard on that podcast how he discusses how he gets all his material that he's going to use, and he's quite literally just consumed in this world of thinking about ideas and thinking about how we can use things, and he's just ingrained himself into popular culture. The way he operates is almost like manic, how he makes his content, but it's really cool.
Obsessive. It's like obsessive. Like we spoke about it on the pod with Cheats, but I was at the footy with him in the Supercoach box. We spoke about that on our last mini /Dospods. in the Supercoach box, and he had his laptop there and a mouse, and he's like cutting up clips while we're there. Like that is.
While his team was
that's
playing.
what it's all about. Yeah, the game's on. And he's
Yeah.
at a box and like people are having bevies and some nibblies and networking. And I'm not saying he wasn't doing that, but just like work, the grind doesn't stop.
Yeah.
The grind does not stop. So that's just a man that's in the zone.
Yeah. No, it was a great pod. If you haven't heard it, firstly, listening to these ones and not listening to the guest pods, strange choice, but I appreciate it. But you should go back and listen to it. No, actually, these pods are better, so I stand by that.
Yeah, it's weird where like I love these pods.
Yeah.
I fucking love them. So much fun. And then when I get a guest for the first 10 minutes, I feel like, I'm sort of feeling them out, trying to get in some rhythm, but I'm super keen to pick their brain and chat to them. That by the end of the guest pods, I go, fuck, I love those pods.
Yeah.
So I'm just in this weird world where it's like, well, I guess I love my podcast.
It's actually a cool format. Like, we've got the podcast and then we've got the behind-the-scenes kind of lower budget, inside the four walls kind of podcast that we do here. I'm enjoying it. I'm having heaps of fun.
Well, I chatted to Noel Moon a couple of weeks ago, and he said he loves these. He goes, it feels like I'm in like production meetings with you guys.
Mooney, how are you?
Mooney, can you edit this and get this back to us? Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool because that's almost what we're going for, like fly on the wall.
Yeah.
Me and D. Allen just going to war.
So, fly on the wall conversation. Then let's just follow up from last podcast. I don't know the amount, but we did it. There's more content. If you've looked at social media, the Instagram, the YouTube,
Instagram's got 2 clips, so
well, that's probably a bit under the quota, but the YouTube has had some medium kind of.
yeah. So I went in. It was me that did it. You said you would. You said you would. You made the promise. You said you would. But I had spare time, so I went in and made 8-minute clips, and then the thumbnails, and then the sort of YouTubey titles. So that's an industry standard with podcasts around the world, where once the podcast is made, that's where the work begins.
Yep.
So went in, clipped up the pods from the guest apps, got 2 or 3 YouTube clips out of them. A couple of them did really well. I had a feeling why the Young King Cookson quit YouTube would perform quite well. I collabed that with my YouTube channel, and that had a couple of thousand views because that was a question for a lot of years.
Yeah.
Like when Cook stepped away from the channel, we had like emotional TikToks being made, like where's Cookson? Where'd all the time goes? Like there was just like Cados is washed with it. Like there was just a lot of like where the hell is Cookson?
Yeah.
And then there was rumors for years. It was like, oh, he's dead. He's gone overseas. They've had a falling out. And I'm like, we definitely had a we've definitely had a moment where we both acknowledged like working together is not quite working at the moment. Like I think at that time, I was trying to hold on to that window of like that window I chatted about that Cheets is in. Like I think when Cook stepped away, I was like in this like I need to keep it up. And it almost didn't coincide with the way Cookson liked to work. So I almost take like a little bit of a lot of responsibility for that. But at the end of the day, also like Cookson was interested in YouTube for 2 or 3 years, and then wasn't as interested in it for a little while. But yeah, it was good to get that out and like make a clip of that, talking about the Young King Cookson and what he's up to. And then, yeah, a couple of the other clips did quite well. I think it makes the YouTube channel look better.
Yeah, I think it looks really clean. It's active, and also a podcast for some people is too long of a format to watch. So
yeah,
there's going to be people who want to still consume bits of those conversations, and you're at least giving them the option to do that. But if they don't want to sit and listen to the whole 90-minute conversation, but you've got a guest on that they're interested in, at least they can get a tidbit into their life and learn a little bit about them. So I think you're also doing not just the audience a justice, but you're giving that guest a bit more of a platform to share who they are and build that relationship with their audience that they may not get through their normal streams.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like when you have podcast guests on, like they obviously share a fair bit about themselves on their own platforms, but when you grow to football players or different types of guests by having those shorter clips on the YouTube. People can, learn a bit about these people without committing to a whole 90-minute podcast.
Yeah.
So I think you've done really well there.
And it opens up, like, they might see a clip and they go, oh, that looks all right. They might see a YouTube clip, watch 5 minutes, and then they go, oh, fuck, I actually might put the whole thing on.
Yeah.
So it does help service the podcast. This is inside mental health baseball. But I get like a weird guilt clipping stuff up out of a podcast. I've heard Mark Howard from Howie Games talk about it as well. Like, obviously it's been said on a podcast, so they don't mind sharing it. But there's something weird about highlighting something that was said on a podcast to get it out there that feels opportunistic when it's not. It's literally not, because it has been posted in the podcast. But me cutting up and going, because I want to get Rog on, obviously, no brainer, duh. And I want to share the injury from top to tail. Also pick his brain about a million other things. The man went on dating naked, and he's just the most interesting person you'll ever meet, the funniest. So, like, it's a that there's going to be a Rog podcast soon. But in my head, I go, well, it'll be a great opportunity to share what happened with the injury, because no one's really spoken about it. Like, and there was a big audience following the football journey. A big part of my audience that have followed Rog for a long time, that care about him and are invested in him and have no idea what happened. And I know a lot of people know that he was injured, but no one knows, like, the ins and outs. And it's just a fucking incredible story of, like, will and resilience. So in my head, I go, and this is just an example, it'll be good to get Rog on, and then the clip, like Connor's injury, I assume will be like a good clip from the podcast. But there's something weird about that in my brain. So I was clipping stuff out of the Terry app. Like, I clipped out, like, stuff with Jamo, like how Dylan Jamo started and whatnot. But I didn't want to clip out why Jamo and Dill ended.
Yep.
But we did talk about it. So, like, it's in the pod. It's already there. So I don't know. I want to do clips in an ethical way, but they just feel unethical a little bit.
I don't know. I think the whole reason is, like, with these guest pods, is you're half servicing your audience, but you're also servicing their audience. And if they're comfortable sharing it on the podcast, I think you're doing them a justice by clipping those up and putting them out there, because you're answering questions that people have, and as long as you're respectful about it and you're not, like, doing some real clickbaity kind of
cutting up their words.
Yeah,
and true.
I think the conversations are respectful and they're not over exaggerated. I think it's fine. I don't think there's any issue, but I understand the guilt, because you're like, no, I don't actually understand the guilt though. We're in the content game. That's content.
I think objectively you're in the right, and I'm being, I'm overthinking it a little bit. But yeah, there is, I don't know, I would hate for, and no one has, but I would hate for someone to come on the pod, I start spamming clips and they go, fucking hell, mate. Like, geez, you're fucking trying to, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, there we go. So we've answered the question, and now you've lost that guilt and the reasoning for guilt. You lost your mind.
Oh, Georgia, the guilt's gone.
Going back, touching on.
So's the brain.
Touching on, I don't know how much we want to share before it goes out, but there is a Cookson cameo.
Great video. We filmed a great video with him.
I think we're better off not explaining the premise of it, or like the result.
We're not explaining the result.
Yeah, but
great video.
Just funny.
Cookson came up to Melbourne last week. So he's not in London, and we haven't had a falling out.
And he's not dead.
And he's been on the channel for the last 3 years. There was an 18-month period where he wasn't.
Yes, but that was a skinwalker. that was a clone, a Cookson clone. You've cloned Cookson because he was lost in the Pacific.
I'm going to say that on one of the comments soon. So Cook came up. We filmed a goal kicking challenge. We needed a goal kicking challenge. I guess we talk about how we've tried to do the goals get smaller every time you kick a goal for a long time. Fucking headache to film.
Yeah, so
Because you almost change locations per goal, and then it's almost a trick shot challenge. And trick shots, you don't know how long it's going to take to finish.
yep.
So there's like 5 or 6 levels with this video. But when you're at a soccer pitch and the next one's a basketball court, you can't just shoot it at the same spot. So I want to film goals get smaller every time I kick a goal. Start with footy goals, and obviously the target gets smaller and smaller. But just from a like the way you film it standpoint, logistics was the word I was looking for. Yeah, it's become a nightmare, and we keep pushing it back, which we've sort of had to.
Yeah, well, I think problem A is we want cameos in each of the segments. So finding time in which you can get those cameos free and have them for an hour or two to be...
But then also have those cameos in a location for an hour or two. But then we don't want this shoot to blow out over 3 weeks. So then we need the cameo and the location to match a time of day in which we can get a cameo and a location at a different place and a different person on the same day, a couple of hours later. So that's almost the hardest part of trying to get this video.
Yeah, and I think if we really want to go behind the 4 walls and explain the other things we have to deal with these is, say it stretches over 5 days and you've had 5 half-day shoots, this is a video where we want a second videographer. Then the budget starts to really blow out.
Because
where you're paying a second person instead of just paying for, a whole day
and
where you get all the locations and you squeeze it all in. We unfortunately, the reality of this video is it's probably going to stretch across 3 or 4 days. You end up with more footage. That means the edit's longer. So we're also trying to do it in a way, because we're trying to run this in a way that makes sense and doesn't blow out.
So the way it doesn't blow out is there's no cameos and it's just me, which is fine. But the video is better when I'm bouncing off people. Yeah. And I want my channel to be a place where you might see a footballer, you might see a comedian, a TikToker. Like, I want it to be a place where you might see some of your favourite creators and people just littered throughout. Like, back in the day, if I had Jared Davis and I was commentating a footy video and Hutto was in it, if this was 6 years ago, in my I commentated a footy game thumbnail, it would have had Hutto and Jared Davis to show that they're in there. But the Mr. Beastification of YouTube is there's actually so much stuff behind that thumbnail that you sort of got to watch to see. And that's what we're doing now. Like, with the draft video, there was more draft players than what was in the thumbnail that were throughout the video. But I didn't advertise it. So now, like, almost you got to watch the video to see the cameos and see who pops up. So that's what I want my channel to be. I want it to be like 15, 20 minutes. But I don't advertise that a footballer's in it. And you sort of got to watch and he pops up and it becomes this like cool little tidbit.
Yeah, I think just to wrap up the point before, as well as the reason it's getting delayed is because it's not like we can't get these videos and do these bigger videos because of budget, but like we'd have second videographers booked in for a day and we didn't have any cameos and we're like, well, is this really the best use of these resources? We're going to go down to a park and kick the ball for 8 hours and it's just like me and Cookson. Can we just simplify that video, shoot for half a day? And that's what we ended up doing on our last shoot, because it's like, oh my God! Sorry, the front doors just opened and scared the life out of me. Pause. I
thought that was. I'm going to keep this going. I'm going to keep this in. No cuts.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I thought that was someone coming home or someone popping in. The front door opened, and it was a tentative open. So we thought someone was like wandering in, trying not to interrupt, but it was no one. It was a ghost.
I'm back. But that video will happen. That goals get smaller video will happen.
I can't wait because I reckon that's such a cool premise and such a cool video. Obviously inspired by Chris MD. That's another one inspired by Chris MD. So yeah, the problem is like I wanted a different cameo per level, and as we've explained, that fucks us. So then I'm thinking, is there one person that can be in the entire video with me? And someone like a Cookson the entire time with that video would be awesome. we were going to start that video last week, but instead we shifted the idea to around the world. So Cookson came up. We filmed football around the world. I've done that video before in 2021 on my YouTube channel with Cookson, actually, and it didn't get as many views as other goal kicking challenges. I wonder if like AFL around the world's just a shit title, like it doesn't have goal challenge in it. I don't know. So we might have to work on how we package that up. But it's a great premise. It's essentially like around the world what you would do at a basketball court, but it's with a footy oval, and it's like first to finish all the kicks win. I reckon it's fun, feels like a race, and we're not going to give anything away, obviously, but it was the most remarkable result I've ever had in a goal-kicking challenge on my channel in 10 years. It was the most remarkable thing I've ever seen.
I still can't believe it happened. I still can't. I don't know how I witnessed what I witnessed.
I can't wait for it to go out because then we do get to touch. Well, probably on the next mini, we'll probably get to touch on it. But I reckon I've done 20 goal kicking challenges, probably more, probably like 20 or 30 goal kicking challenges across my YouTube career. We've had big 30-minute challenges come down to the last kick. We've had it come down to the last moment. We have had the craziest results ever, and this trumps it by 10. This is the most remarkable result I've ever had in a goal kicking challenge.
Yeah, and it sounds like we're saying this just to
It's remarkable.
Yeah, like we're just like, oh, the crazy goal kicking.
No.
It is actually unbelievable what went down at Collingwood's home ground.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? I forgot they changed the name from AIA.
Is it KFC ground now?
KFC. No, it's not KFC. It's
KFC was...
HM
Tiki Toki.
Yeah. It's a new sponsor.
Yeah.
Shout out them.
Yeah, we went down to Collingwood's training ground.
So Collingwood can get some sponsors on their ground, but we can't get one on our podcast.
That's fucking bullshit, man. It's fucking...
Yeah, I still can't believe that.
No, it was fucked.
But look out for that. That is going to be...
That'll be our next video.
Yeah. I think as well, the reason this goals get smaller thing isn't happening, we're in a phase of trying to get ahead. It's a really busy month coming up with gather round and just things. And we've probably struggled to get ahead of the curve with our content.
We've been chasing our ass a bit.
So to be like, oh, let's have a multiple day shoot with multiple cameos.
It takes 3 weeks to edit.
Like, that would probably, in the position we're in at the moment, be one of the worst decisions we can make. We would pull it off, and we've pulled it off for the last 6 months. But
as a smart lever to pull was Cook's coming up. Do we go to basketball courts and soccer ovals and footy ovals with Cook today? Or do we spend all day with him doing trick shots? Or do we pull the lever of doing a smaller goal kicking challenge shoot? Almost a bit 2019-ish. It'll have the 2019 feel, but the 2026 look is what we've got. It's what we captured. And the question was, do we do that instead, which gives us a video? I think that edit will take a day, day and a half. So all of a sudden, instead of shooting for 5 and editing for 3 weeks, we shoot for half a day and edit for 1 day, and we've got a video, and now we're ahead, and it's a goal kicking challenge. So that's a significant pillar of my YouTube channel. Now, it's not the big goal recreations, and it's not one of the big kahunas, but I think in terms of satisfying the audience for a week, very, very good, clean, reliable piece of content. I have to find a way to package it better because AFL around the world flopped back in the day, but it's awesome. Like, I think maybe AFL around the world, like, people are sort of sick of just set shots from around the arc because with goal recreations, it's like one's a dribbler from the boundary, one's a banana. It's like there's a bit more complexity to the different goals. But
AFL shootout.
Yeah, AFL shootout challenge, AFL race, amazing race. It wasn't a race. I don't know. I'll chat GPT it. Hopefully that helps us. But it was
leave a title in the comments of this podcast.
Well,
don't leave a title.
I love your soliciting, but you almost got me in trouble during the week.
Well, no, I think I was going to reply to this comment and kind of get rid of any stresses and say like, glad you've been watching the pod, funny comment or something like that. I had my reply written, and then the message got deleted.
Yeah, because you've almost fucked me. So what happened was last week you got willy-nilly with your soliciting. You solicited multiple things to
No,
happen.
I don't think we've got a 1-star rating yet. So
you wanted 1-star ratings. You wanted people to comment that I'm a hack, and one that you really went hard on was you said, mate, people just comment washed on everything. Like, so people did that on the YouTube, which was fine. Like, it was hilarious. When I saw great video wink #wash, I was like, great, we've got an inside joke with the pod. And I think it went to your head, and you loved the power. You were ordering the people around, and then all of a sudden, I reckon last pod you said, comment on the Insta. Wash. Like, when you see an Insta reel from Cados pop up, comment wash.
No, originally I said comment that this is shit when you post your parody video, and then you got scared, and I was like, all right, let's just stick to washed.
Yeah. So I finally had a brand deal. First one in a little while. I think it was KO as well, so pretty significant brand in the sports space.
It was the wrong sport. Let's just, can we clue that up firstly?
Oh, was it the NRL one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was my KO one.
No.
I copped a bit of heat on my KO one. We can get to that one in a sec.
Oh, God.
But yeah, I had the Melbourne Storm collab. Big brand, Amy Park, great facilities. I posted. And
are we in the brand deal at the moment?
Yeah, I told him I'd tie in an ad read on the pod after what happened. Anyway, so I go on to check the engagement. Brand deal. Like, I've collabed with Amy Park, collabed with the Storm, collabed with Amy Precinct. And the top comment is, I don't know if he just #washed or he just wrote washed.
He just wrote washed.
He wrote washed.
He forgot the hashtag.
And it was Owen. And it was hilarious. Like, I sent it to you. I pissed myself. But I was just like, man, not on the brand deal. Like, because you need, like, we don't need it. But ideally on the brand deals, there's a few comments. Awesome content, mate. Just a little bit of support to show the brand that the community's there. And my community's written, mate, you are washed. So the brand's going, he's washed. What the fuck did we collab?
Yeah, okay. Well,
so funny.
Well, maybe, guys,
So good.
if it's a brand deal, write something nice so Caden can continue to get paid, and then leave #washed at the end of the comment. Yeah. So it looks like we've brought it. How about don't comment? Wait, no, don't.
Well.
If there's a brand deal, let's flood it with positive comments. And then if it's just one of Caden's posts,
yeah, that'd be ideal.
Just flood it with abuse.
No.
No, don't do that.
That was fucking hilarious. That was so funny.
Yeah, you panicked. You didn't panic, but you're like, oh.
Well, I was like, man.
We were laughing, but
we were laughing, but I did ask you, I'm like, I can leave it because it's hilarious for the inside joke. And that was all, like, Owen, you're getting a tick. I hope this isn't, I hope we're not,
yeah, he's not discouraging you guys from commenting. He's not going to just start deleting everyone's
It was
comments.
awesome by Owen, but we did, like, me and you did think, like, is it a good look with the collab? Because they won't get it.
Well, there's no confusion there either. It's not like it was a Melbourne Football Club collab, and if there was #washed, Melbourne could be like, yeah, maybe we're a bit past it. Like, it's Melbourne Storm. They're not washed.
Yeah.
They've been good, and they'll always be good.
No, and so I think people were like, I was worried that the brand that we collabed with were going to be like, oh, look, we've taken a chance with this creator, and he's been around the bush for a while, and now the audience is saying that he's washed. Like, let's not work with him again. So I was a little bit, not that they would do that, but yeah, fuck me, that was so funny.
All right, well, I'll think of a new call to action by the end of this podcast. Just leave it with me.
Yeah, nice. Well, then I uploaded the KO one.
Oh God, this wasn't on me, by the way, guys.
No, this was as if you have your own podcast and you solicited all this hate. But obviously, I did a collaboration with KO, and it's just me pumping up. I'm a footy creator. KO have reached out, getting some coin, which obviously allows us to do goals get smaller
That's how the game
type
works,
challenges.
guys. Money makes the world go round. So
yeah.
Don't judge a man.
Well, they did. So all the comments on my KO thing, because I worded my script, it was just like fun and lighthearted. It was like, oh, if you're a real footy fan and you don't have KO, what are you doing? And all the comments were like, what do you mean, what are we doing, mate? It's $50 a month and the fucking cost of living is fucked. And how dare you fucking... And like, grandparents can't pay for their fucking kid. And I was just like, I was like, oh my God. Like, I guess my script was worded in a way that like almost is... I don't know. Yeah, like if you don't have KO, what are you doing? Well, we can't afford it. Yeah, fair enough. Like I didn't really think that far ahead into it. I got rinsed. One bloke was like, "Mate, are you serious? How can you do this? What are you doing with this? What are you trying to achieve?" And I'm like, I don't know. KO wanted me to. I'm just promoting KO. I don't know.
Yeah, one of the favourite comments, I think someone just said, like, oh, Cados, give us your login details.
Yeah. Well, he's from Wattle Park, Kieran. That was very funny. Yeah,
I don't...
That was.
I'm not going to comment on this matter. I feel like we can only get in trouble from doing this. Yeah, life's expensive at the moment, and I can't...
100%.
It's... Yeah, I'm not going to...
But it's not too expensive if you're a footy fan. No, I'm joking.
I'm not going to slander the sponsor, but I'm also not going to discredit some people's struggles with money in the current financial
state. All right. So if we... So that's a good point by you. I hope that's not what we're doing here. I think the gag for me is that my post has nothing to do with any of that. Like, I know I am cognizant of the fact that people are struggling. Yeah. But almost blaming that on my brand deal, or like, what are you doing, mate? Some people can't afford to watch footy. It's like, yeah, that sort of has nothing to do with me.
Well, we're in trouble because your sponsorship next week for Ampol, we're gonna, we're I think what was the script? Fuel's never been better.
If you don't have a full tank of fuel, what are you doing, brother?
You're a fuckwit.
Yeah. No, it was just a funny reaction from people, and I am like, I get it though. Like, as you said,
but in the end of the day, if we're gonna look at this realistically, some people can't afford KO or subscription services in general, but like, it's a football channel. They're the biggest broadcaster of football. They're probably going to come to football content creators to advertise their brand. And it's as simple as that. But if you can't afford it, I get it. And Caden will pay for you. No, he won't.
Well, I can't afford it. That's why we're taking the brand deals, mate.
That was very funny. I think I was having a good laugh at that. So maybe on Caden's next post, comment, KO is really well priced. No, don't do that either. I don't know. I'm digging myself.
I feel I'm scared we've dug ourselves a hole. Ultimately, I think people get the gist.
Yeah, I agree.
But I just felt, well, we can go a little bit deeper because I like to assess all options. I felt like it wasn't my fault that, like, I don't know, like, people almost in that post are almost blaming me.
Yeah.
That was confusing to me, but
I think there's probably a lack of understanding as to how these brand deals like work and like the deliverables. It's not like you've gone and,
hey guys, I found an awesome deal. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
It's just, hey, can you do this sponsorship?
Yeah, but it's also like, yeah, it's obviously a sponsorship. Don't know, but also like, pretty much all footy fans have KO. Like, but now we're going into like a bit of a minefield here that I'm not sure I want to go into. But I understand the sentiment of like paying to watch footy. Like, my dad doesn't have KO, so he can't watch any Saturday games across the weekend. But growing up, and I see people post all the time. So if you're a Sydney supporter, you can't watch their first 3 games of the year because it's on paid TV on Saturdays. I remember growing up listening to Triple M on Saturday nights because the D's were playing Freo in Perth and it was on Foxtel and I couldn't watch it, and I'd have to wait till halftime on the Channel 10 game to see any sort of highlights, and we'd just listen on the radio because we didn't have Foxtel, and I was envious of kids who did have Foxtel, and so I get it. Like, I 100% get it. It's not a new thing. Like, footy behind a paywall isn't a new thing. It's... And at the moment, KO's cheaper.
I got the answer. Sydney, they don't get a game for the first 3 rounds.
I made that up, but for example.
Oh, fuck.
Sorry.
Well, the home, like, if it's your home team, you should get the broadcast. Like, all the GWS and Sydney games should be broadcasted in that state.
Yeah.
And then Melbourne comes into it.
But I think anyone who pays for a membership, they should do a thing on KO where it's like D's channel. So
if
like
you've got a club.
every club membership should get their team. There should be like a new link on KO, and it's like every D's game you get, and maybe, and that's for free. And then maybe, if I want to watch every game and every show and other sports, then I get KO. But if I just want to not miss a D's game, I get my membership link, and it's through KO, and there's a bit of something like that should definitely be a thing.
And that's not going to happen. Don't get your hopes up, guys. We're probably going to have to work around this in the edit, I reckon.
I don't think so. We're just talking from the heart, man.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
I think if someone cuts out 20 seconds of this, we might be in strife.
Yeah.
If someone cuts out 12 minutes of this, I think there's context.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's pretty plain cut. KO costs what it costs. The service is great. I'm not going to deny that. Like, if you're a footy fan and you're watching football, if you have KO, it's pretty awesome. It's the best.
If you're a footy fan, you would have KO.
It's the easiest access to football we've ever had. It's behind a pretty...
It's the cheapest too, because back in the day, to watch every game, Foxtel would have been way more. So, like, even though KO's gone up in the last couple of years, it's way cheaper than having like a full Foxtel package where you have to get it put into your house.
I think the argument is that it's probably the blame amongst footy fans is it's falling on KO, because that's probably one of the bigger subscriptions. But I think it's less directed towards KO people's anger. It's the fact of how the system works these days. Is you're paying for Netflix, you're paying for this, you're paying for that, you're paying for this, you're paying for all these different subscriptions. So if you put the KO on top of all the other things you have to pay for these days,
it's crazy,
and you don't get to really own any of it anymore.
Yeah,
the KO is probably the most premium of the lot, but you get probably the best product, I'd say. So you're getting what you pay for, but I think the anger is more towards the way the system's built these days, that you are to watch the things you want to watch and go home after a day's work and turn the telly on and see what you want to see. There's just money coming out of everywhere. And, and then a good call. You add on top of it, petrol stations can just jack their prices up, and it costs $4 for an avocado, and I'm getting meat from the store that I don't know where it comes from, and it costs $70 a kilo.
Mate, I went to a cafe, got smashed avo, which used to be like a $15 thing, but now my smashed avo and a coffee is the same as a pot and palmy.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, getting a pot and palmy used to be in Geelong $23. Or maybe the palmy was 23, maybe the pot was 5. So maybe it was $28 to get a beer and a palmy. Yeah, that's what it's costing me to get smashed avo now.
Yeah. So
no, it's actually more, because I add like bacon and it ends up being like nearly $40. $40 for it's fucked.
Yeah,
like, so you are right.
I think it's less. People are probably taking their frustration out on brands like KO, because it's probably an expense that if you love footy you can't avoid, because like you want to watch the footy, so it's worth it when you look at it like that.
Yeah.
But when you add all the bills up and how much life costs, that's the scapegoat, and KO is one of the scapegoats because it's one of the more obvious deductions out of your weekly wage. So I get where everyone's coming from with that, because it is getting really expensive to live. And I won't get into. I'm not an economist, and I don't understand.
Nah, that was
why
really
things are all expensive. But yeah, I hear everyone.
Yeah, I do too.
Fuck the system.
I 100% hear everyone, and I feel the weight of it. It was just a weird phenomenon to almost be blamed for it. Like,
yeah.
And I know I wasn't, and the wording of my script was a bit funny, where I was like, if you don't have it, what are you doing? And everyone's like, shut the fuck up, mate. Like, it's hard. And I was like, yeah, it is hard. So, I don't know. It sort of caught me by surprise that I copped it a bit. But it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree.
Well, to give KO a massive pump up, they saved our last video.
Oh, they did, yeah. They
So we just talked about the complexities of them.
Now you go into this one.
They literally saved our last video. So I've had a fucking disaster with this commentary video. I guess I'll start from the start. So the video, I became a commentator in 7 days. We've spoken about for weeks. I reckon we spoke on the first mini.
I think we shot it in 2023.
Yeah. We spoke on the first mini about how we were about to go down and shoot it. It was before the North and D's match sim, so not an official game of football. I hit the D's up and said, do you reckon I could commentate like an intra-club or training or like a match sim for their website. They went, oh yeah, that sounds, maybe, sounds all right. Sounds like an okay idea. A couple of weeks later, I hit them up and I said, oh well, I love that idea. Maybe I just do it for my channel. We collab with the D's, and like I get a cool piece, and then they can pick the eyes out of it, and they get a cool piece. So they said, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that works for us. So we went down, commentated the match sim, and then me and you built like a huge storyline around it. And we wanted it to be this fresh take on an AFL YouTube video where it's almost like Max Fosh-ish. It's his storyline about how I've got 7 days to become a commentator. I chat to someone in the industry about becoming a commentator. I pick the co-host. We go down. Can he do it? And then we just show the results. Like, there was times where I was okay at commentating. There's times I was a bit shit. I didn't have my binoculars. I couldn't see the other side of Casey Fields. But that was the premise. It took a little while to edit. You were in the fucking trenches with the edit. But it took ages to edit and went out a little bit later than what we thought it would. And the D's thought it would be timed around the practice match. So it was a bit of miscommunication from my part because I thought it was an evergreen piece of content and I thought it was going out like whenever. I thought we could post it in August and it would still make sense. But the D's were sort of like, if any part of it was going on our channels, we probably needed it earlier. So I dropped the ball with that and that was on me. But they were like, we would have loved it a little bit earlier. It is what it is, though. We're still really excited to see it. Just do your thing. So we got it edited last week, ready to upload on Thursday. And in the planning of the video, I spoke to the Ds about, it's not an official game of football. The match sims aren't real, if that makes sense. The following week, the community series is like an official game of football, but the match sims aren't. Halfway through the Melbourne North game, they started doing scenario training where they changed the scores and put 2 minutes to go on the clock and they started pretending it's not a real game. That's why I eyed it off because I think from a copyright standpoint, it would be fine to use. We got the tick of approval. The D said, the AFL said you can use the footage. KO provided us with the footage of the match sim. And I asked a couple of times, I was like, maybe Dan Allen comes down and shoots it the way we shoot Wattle Park. So then we own it, it's our own piece, our own angle. And they said, they were like, no, you can use the broadcast. I'm like, oh, sweet. So we finally got this edit done. I'll ask you in a second how you went with that because there was a couple of texts at 4 a.m. of you getting it done for the Thursday. You do this big all-nighter. Or do we touch on that now?
No. We can touch on it. It was Wednesday night. The video was going out Thursday. It was quickly Thursday morning, and we had to shoot Thursday afternoon.
Yeah. So we were shooting the Cooks and Goal Kicking Challenge on Thursday. Yeah, that edit it kept getting
it was probably on me. We had to, I don't know how much we want to tell people about the process, but we had to.
Yeah, I reckon people.
We had to shoot it in reverse, kind of. So we hadn't.
Yeah.
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 Nah. I like the smoke and mirrors.
Oh God.
Sorry.
Oh. Resume here. Okay. No. Yeah. I fell behind on the edit. I picked up a job the week prior where I was gonna smash the edit out, which was 5 days of work, not even 9 till 5, finishing it. 12 o'clock at night.
He went to the mines for a week.
And I did some FIFO work, make up some money, tie up some loose ends. And they pushed the edit back, and then one thing leads to another with the other projects I'm working on, and it was...
So, we pushed it back away. It felt like it was getting squeezed the whole time. The whole time, ever since we shot it, I felt like from an edit standpoint, the walls were just getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And then we put a deadline that got pushed back a week. And then we're like, no, it's definitely going out this week. You had a couple of days free to get on top of it. And the workload almost,
I do this all the time.
Talk to me about
it's like a uni project. When you work for yourself, it goes out Thursday. Let's get it done Thursday morning. It's just, and it balloons.
But then there was little things there's some really cool graphics that you put in it.
Well,
That just took ages and...
I think it's kind of like you get to it and it's just, theoretically I don't have to be asleep for another 4 hours, so I'm just going to see if I can change this song or see if I can change this cut here. And it gets to 4 a.m. It's like, well, I've still got 6 hours to sleep, so I haven't overdone it here. And yeah, that's just how things go.
Yeah.
That's how these edits go. And then we wake up in the morning and it doesn't go out till Sunday. So I didn't have to stay up all night.
Well, so early on, I figured like, oh man, the D's were a bit apathetic, I think is probably the word, about the timing. They were like, oh, we thought it'd go out at a certain time and it hasn't. You know, is what it is. And I was like, oh.
Probably shit communication by us.
Yeah, 100%.
I think the emphasis there.
But I felt really bad. So I just got the guilt. I'm like, fucking hell. Like, I really wanted to nail this, like, organic
So
collab.
I think the interesting part here is like, so the way it works is we get handed deliverables. Usually when you do a sponsored or a collaborative bit of content, you get handed deliverables. And we probably hadn't made it clear enough to Melbourne that we wanted to build a video that was based around commentating a game, but it was really around us trying to flex our muscle at building a storyline and doing something different.
It gets to Thursday morning and you've done an all-nighter. We're now shooting with Cookson. We're at Amy Park and you've uploaded the video and you're now with me, so you're not at home anymore. And we realised that it was in 1080. So you had
I
to...
promise I know what I'm doing, guys.
No, well, this is just the part and parcel of working in this industry. So we had to get that re-uploaded. So your brother Michael gave us a chop out, re-uploaded it from home. Did a really good job. Like, not a editor or a production guy. Probably need some credits in the video. But
I'll make him dinner.
Yeah. So it gets uploaded 4K. So we do the goal kicking challenge with Cookson. All right, great, it's up. 4K, beautiful. We're still out and about. I put it all in. I put the thumbnail, put the title, go to upload, and at 4 o'clock, it's just not up. At like 4:20, and I'm like, what the? Why isn't it up? And I click on the video, and it's been blocked, like no one can see it, blocked globally, and I'm like, why? And I look, and no one's fault. We'd got the tick from the AFL. We'd gotten the tick from KO. KO provided the Ds with the broadcast who gave it to us. It's been all above board. But the AFL's YouTube channel automatically triggered it as us taking their YouTube video because the AFL put every highlight from the match sims on their YouTube like they would for any game.
Yep.
So a highlights package of the game is up. The AFL's YouTube channel has gone, fuck, this random channel's used our footage. When we hadn't, we had been provided the footage. Anyway, from there, I'm sitting there. It's a Thursday afternoon. You've done an all-nighter to get it done. And I'm going, I feel like we're a long way from getting this fixed. So
by then, the left side of my brain was aching.
And I'm like, oh no, this was meant to go out last Thursday. I always post on Thursdays. It's now the following Thursday. We're in some strife here, boys. So I contacted someone at the AFL. They said, mate, we'll give it the green light or whatever, but we just need written consent from Foxtel. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, where do we start there? So I got into someone at KO. Awesome. Everyone I'm speaking about now went above and beyond. Like, they could have easily been like, mate, we've got bigger fish to fry.
we got a league. We got a whole broadcast to sort out.
Yeah, well, I'm not fucking around with your little puny YouTube channel, mate. Everyone literally that I contacted went above it. Like, it was just crazy. And I was very, very grateful and thankful. So then I got onto KO and KO go, all right, we'll send this to legal. I'm like, send it to legal. Fuck, just someone just click a button and let it go. Like, someone, please. So it went from AFL to KO legal. Took a couple of days.
Went to the magistrate.
Yeah. So we fronted court Monday morning and pleaded our case. Yeah. We didn't copyright, we swear.
I didn't park there for over 2 hours. Oh, that was the parking ticket. Yeah.
So then KO sent their written email to the AFL. AFL then sent it to the broadcast department of the AFL to get it ticked off. And then on Sunday morning, I got told it should work. Because that video had been uploaded, privated, unlisted, blocked. I was like, this video is going to tank. So we re-uploaded the video, and we've spoken about doing YouTube videos on Sundays. We think there's a bit of a gap in the market on Sundays. Thursdays I like to upload because it feels like a fun end to the week and like it gives you something to look forward to across the weekend. But Sundays across the globe is when YouTubers upload. So it's something we've almost been thinking about doing for a while. It was a good test case. We uploaded it on Sunday afternoon. It performed quite well. The last dagger in the heart was I collabed post with the Ds because it was a collab with the Ds. So I collab post on YouTube and the link wouldn't work. So the Ds could not even, they accepted the first one that got blocked, but it's not collabed with the D. You didn't know this. I'm revealing this to you now. So I hit the Ds up with the collaboration link and they went, oh, mate, it's not working. And I went, oh, sorry. So I deleted the collab, re-collabed, sent the new link. No, it's not working. Deleted the collab, sent it again. They said, yeah, it's not working. And I just sent an emoji over text. It was a white flag. I just went, this has been a cursed collab. I'm so sorry. And if there's any way I can make it up to you, I would like to.
So, and it was all worth it. I think the video is awesome. And the response has been good. And I think the moral of that story is, guys, if you've watched the video or if you're yet to watch the video, just say thank you, KO, in the comments.
KO, AFL, Ds. Everyone went above and beyond to give us a chop out and help us. Yeah.
All worth it. I think it was one of those weird things where it was just automatically flagged, and the AFL being the AFL probably has a few,
they're like, we can't just
hoops to jump through, then just being like, okay, yeah, that's good to go. And they did that, and it was, you got to understand, we were messaging them on a Thursday night. But Friday is leading into the round of footy, and then on the weekend, I assume their team, in terms of whoever's running the YouTube, is probably...
Yeah, they have the weekend.
Yeah.
But they also, I assume, can't just tick it off. It isn't just they go into YouTube and give,
Well, there'd be systems in place to prevent people from just messaging some bloke at KO and be like, hey, can you...
Yeah.
So that's why they have to go to legal. And, because their content, that's their money.
And they own
their
that.
Brand is everything. So...
And if I get to use the match sim, what if I... Yeah, so that...
being a pain in the ass prevents everyone from being able to just rip content from the AFL.
100%. So the process... there was... Everyone who gave us a chop out in that process, I was like, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much because...
And that's why KO costs $50 a month, because 18 people have to go through the systems to give the content through the AFL. So when you think about it, it's actually pretty cheap.
No, I was so thankful for the chop out that everyone gave us. I wanted to talk about that video. I was looking at our body of work the last 3 or 4 months. 6 videos have gone out. Maybe it's the last 3 months. 6 videos have gone out. 3 by me, 3 by you. I love looking at the YouTube channel from a body of work standpoint. And I love it. I love what we've done at the moment. That video that we did do, the commentary video, I've got some brain rot. That's what I want to make, man. Fresh. I haven't made anything like that before. I get to experience something that I don't get to do often in commentating a game of footy. I think that's one of the best pieces I've done on the YouTube channel. I think the edit was awesome. I know you stayed up till 4 a.m. and it didn't even go out on the Thursday. You could have chipped away on it till Sunday. But
that's on me, though. That's my fault.
I think that's one of the best things we've made. And if we get to make more stuff like that, I feel like the channel's going to start to hum.
Well, and I think we can only get better at it. I think we took a risk. We tried something new.
The risk was scary too.
Because it's not the type of video that we've done usually, but we are trying to grow and mature this channel in terms of, when I say mature, I don't necessarily mean audience age. I mean mature the content, that it's got more layers to it. It's got a bit more depth to it and a bit more to sink your teeth into. And I think we maybe got, if I'm being completely honest, 60% of the way there as to what a video like that could be.
Yeah.
But we gave it a crack. We really thought about what the different stages of the video would be and how we're going to progress through it and how the audience is going to progress through it. And I think as a premise, it's something that we can build off. I think you mentioned earlier, it's a bit like a Max Fosh video. Where it falls short there, in my opinion, is he actually, whether or not he has these hurdles to jump through, or he just emphasizes them a lot better than we do. In a video like someone like that does, is they have some genuine real world obstacles to go through, and ours, although we'd made obstacles and we'd actually had to land the gig, and we were calling around, and we needed the co-host, and you wanted to go out and get advice from people. They were all also opportunities that were pretty easily presented.
Yeah.
Like, it still took work on your end, and you still had to line these things up.
Yeah.
But it's a great base for us to build off with content like that. So if you guys do like that type of video, let Caden know, because it takes a little bit of work and a little bit of planning. But it was probably an eye-opener to me as to one of the directions we could probably start moving in. And if we fine-tune that a bit and build a real engaging narrative with a story like that in the footy space, it would be like nothing that's out there.
Yeah, I agree. That was I reckon it's one of my favourite videos that I've got on my channel. And just you smashed it. You nailed it. From a filming standpoint, from an editing, like, the measurement of success for me is if I was on the bus ride home, heading to Torquay from school at 16, or if I'm coming home from radio school at 20, and that was in my subscription box, how would I feel?
Yep.
And I hope I'm not tooting my own horn, but I always frothed, like, anything like that. Any sort of Foxtel piece or any sort of UK YouTuber piece that resembled something like that, like someone that I'm invested in, getting an opportunity to have a crack at something, storyline, things at stake. Like, if I'd have seen that, I would have frothed that. And the length of it as well, like, it's not 6 minutes, so it's just sort of, you don't get invested. And it's not an hour and a half where it's a bit too long. It's like 14 minutes. That's like, I frothed that. And I can't believe we get to chip away and provide that for our audience. But yeah, the whole thing was a risk, like, trying to get it done. Like, we don't know how to make these videos.
And we backed ourselves, I think.
And we fucked up. Like, I think we've just explained today.
It's not. Yeah.
We fucked the whole thing.
Yeah, we don't know.
To be honest, we probably fucked it.
Yeah, we don't know exactly what we're doing. But it was a risk, and we continued. Like, we stuck to our guns. The moment in which we realised that we were probably going away from the brief that Melbourne gave us, and decided, no, this is the video we want to make, and we're going to explain ourselves here to Melbourne, and thank God they were understanding.
Oh, yeah.
But we realised once we'd shot everything and we were starting the edit that, oh shit, this isn't going to be what they've asked for. But we went to them and we backed our decision making in, and thank God that they were happy with it. And in the end, we got a video out. And as I said, it's not perfect. It's probably 60% of the way there as to what a video like that could be and should be. But we tried something new. We get 5% better every time.
I'd put that, so obviously the genres that I do on YouTube is like songs, goal kicking challenges, vlogs, live streams, podcasts. I think that's a new genre. I think that's like adventure, like footy adventure.
Yeah.
So
it was almost like
it was so much fun.
Yeah, it was. I think that's the thing that video was, is although all the external stresses that we probably put on ourselves in terms of like actually the creative process of it, it was just fun. And that's why we're doing this. Like, there was nothing creatively about that video that was stressful and that was hard to do. It was, here's this awesome storyline. How do we build it? And it was just fill in the gaps, try call around, see what club was going to have us. Probably made sense that it was Melbourne. Hold the interviews, which was us sitting with our friends, but making it, a real interview process, and like
so
letting
funny.
them,
so funny, and
letting them be characters.
How good was it? Like Romy Has was like that's what.
No scripts.
I hope these podcasts are more of like a window in to the reality of what we do, and not like a whinge fest, because I don't think it is. But that's like a 2-minute thing on the YouTube video. We were there for an hour and a half, but just like getting all the creators in the same room at the same time, finding a room, like Backchat, giving up that space for an hour and a half, like we added work that was unnecessary. Like if we wanted to make the video easy, we didn't have to do that little audition piece. I think it's fucking hilarious.
Oh, mate, the extended cut is crazy. So, like, it was just funny. Like,
it was so
we
funny.
Put in 2 minutes of it, but each of those little interviews probably went for 10 minutes each.
Jarrah had a really dry sense of humour. Bailey McKay was just off his chops. He didn't even make the cut.
He got cut out.
Yeah, we couldn't fit him in, but he was hilarious. Romy Has came in cocky. So
sorry, Bailey. I forgot I cut you out of the video.
Yeah, poor Baz.
That's,
and Checkers is just a madman.
Yeah. That's probably a highlight that. Cutting people out of the video as the editor. I feel bad. I didn't like that I cut Bailey out, but it was just purely from a point of pacing. It didn't work. It didn't fit the pacing of everyone else.
We had an interview with Jai Cully before the game.
Cut that out.
We wanted it to be like once we got to Casey Fields, it becomes like a broadcast, like news, music kicks in, and it feels like, you know, you've welcome to Cados Calls Footy, and it becomes like a broadcast. And it was me on the ground walking to camera like they do in the real broadcast, like, welcome down to Casey Fields. Massive clash between North Melbourne and Melbourne, and now I'm joined by one of the Melbourne Footy Club's superstars, Jai Cully. And then I chatted to Jai Cully for 2 minutes, and then at the end of that bit, I took a selfie with him, and you and Jarrah give me shit, and it's hilarious. And that, like, we'd almost scripted that. But the mic didn't work, and it didn't feel like it fitted in. So that's like another piece that, you know, we had a crack at that didn't quite work.
Yeah, so Bailey, if you get upset that we cut you out of the video, we also cut an AFL player out of the video. Yeah. So these things happen. But yeah, it was a cool video. Good fun.
One of my favourite videos. Hopefully it keeps ticking. But to get after those types and that sort of genre is like, fuck, that's... Yeah.
I think as well...
So fresh. Such a fresh take.
Thanks to the audience on the comments section. Like, all videos get good responses. But
yeah, there was one in particular.
It was a really wholesome response. Like, everyone seemed to get behind it. The comments showed that people saw that it was a different type of video, I feel.
Yeah, so official CJ Coast YouTube said one of the best Cados videos I've ever watched. Great video, mate. And I screenshotted that and sent it to you because that's how I felt before uploading it. Like, I was like, oh man, like we've sort of faked our way through this entire premise, made a lot of mistakes along the way, like a lot of mistakes. But I was so bullish on it. I'm like, oh man, I'm so stoked with this. Such a fresh feel on the channel. And we've spoken about making the channel feel fresh for a while. And yeah, to get that comment, I sent it to you. I'm like, oh fuck, this is what we're doing it for. This is what it's all about.
Yeah, it was awesome.
We've rambled long enough. I'm not calling these minis anymore. These are just the Dospods. That's a fucking weird title for your own podcast. But I suppose the whole podcast is Cados and Co. And that's weird as well. Thanks for joining me, Daniel Son.
No worries.
Anything you want to hope and dream of in the next 2 weeks?
Looking for a Nintendo 64.
Nice.
And yeah, that's about it. It probably should have been work and Caden related, but I'm looking for a Nintendo 64. I want to buy one. I don't want to use it. I do want to.
You're collecting a lot of vintage stuff at the minute.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Shout out to the one Patreon. We thought we had two, but Northie changed his Patreon account to Shaq Mac at one stage.
Yeah, so Northie, don't do that. Stop pulling stunts. We got excited. We
bought
the champagne and had to return it.
I knew we had Northie, and then I saw that we had Shaq Mac, and I'm like, oh my God, but Northie had just changed his Patreon account. So thanks for the clarity. Still only one Patreon. That'll change. I'm going to start flogging
but with the cost of living, and we're asking them to subscribe to the Patreon, I'm like, who do we think we are? Don't subscribe.
Hey guys,
save your money.
That's funny. That is funny.
All right. You should have thrown the Patreon in the KO ad while you're at it.
Yeah.
Subscribe to the Patreon.
All right, mate. Don't subscribe to Patreon. Don't subscribe to KO. Subscribe to my Patreon, brother.
5 times.
Oh, that's great.
God.
Thanks to everyone who tuned in to the DOS Pod, and we'll be back with some more content very, very soon. Cheers, guys.